Should I get my rock star glasses out? Hello, everyone. I have no music, and I can't really see, and these are on the end of my nose. So I'm just going to sit here a moment while everyone kind of comes on camera. In all seriousness, I saw these in Walmart, and I had to have them. Hey, Vanessa, how are you? And, Elton John, just look out. As I get closer to middle age, I just become more outrageous, right? I just think it's the presence that you just don't care what people think, right? So I'll give you guys all a couple minutes to get on. For those of you who don't know, hey Letty, who don't know who I am, my name is Shannon Miller, and I'm actually a cleaning business owner here in the great state of Arizona, and have been so for over a decade. Woohoo! It's a long time. It's a long time, a lot of houses, right? I was looking at my customer list, and it's like 1,000 people long. Not everyone uses us all the time, so don't sweat that part. And I'm also CEO of Clean Freaks University, where I teach other cleaning business owners how to run the back end of their cleaning business instead of being run over by their cleaning business. Hey Amber, how are you? So I actually come here usually once a week. With the summer, I don't know if I'm able to squeeze it in once a week. I'm going to try to get it to work out. I just have a lot of activities with the littles. So, and hopefully, can you guys all hear me? I didn't check the mic. Because what happens is if I move or I put my hands on, I love this desk. It's super duper cute. But if I touch the desk, it makes this echoing sound. It's really annoying. So yeah, normally I come Thursdays at 4 p.m. I'm a little bit early today. It's like 3:49 Arizona time. So, I wanted to tell you guys a couple of things, and then I wanted to talk about housekeeper rates. I actually saw that this morning. I was going to talk about something else, but I think that you'll get more juice out of the housekeeper rates. So topic number one, hey Misty, how are you? Is we have the round table this Saturday. If you notice that the round table is actually at 8 a.m. Arizona time instead of 9 a.m., it's because I literally have appointments starting at 7 a.m. my time, and then I have the marketing mastermind right after the Zoom. So if you're interested in participating in the roundtable, it's absolutely free to you guys. It's my way of giving back more, so that you guys can get your questions answered. I've had all kinds of interesting questions asked. So if you have a pertinent question for your business that's realistic, like, I can't help you with your relationships with your spouse. I can't tell you how to raise your kids. I mean, I could, but it's not my job. I can't know. I can tell you about good recipes, but I don't know if they will help you lose weight if that's what you want, right? So if you are interested in participating in the roundtable, it's this Saturday. Go right to the events inside of the groups and grab that Zoom link. It only holds 100. Zoom has a maximum capacity. If by chance, for some weird reason, we get more than 100, I'm happy to do, hey Alexandria, a second roundtable. We'll just have to maybe schedule it on Sunday. But for the most part, I think about 14 to 20 people, sometimes 4 people. I've had 2 people come out and ask me, and I don't think I've seen any other cleaning business coach come out and do what I do. So by all means, take advantage of that opportunity to ask your questions. I will, if we have a lot of people on there, I will limit it to 2 questions per person. That way everyone has a chance to have their questions answered, just to be fair, because some of you who I know a little better than others, you know how to get a hold of me should something major happen and we can fix whatever, right? Hey Tasha, hey Santos Cleaning. I always forget what you go by, so you'll have to tell me. I just go by Santos Cleaning. So there's that happening. Also on Saturday is the Marketing Mastermind. If you are not a subscriber, it has been a really fun group. I think there's about 20 people in it right now. It is a subscription-based group that meets twice a month, and it's an opportunity for you to advertise at a really low rate. So the cost for the subscription is legitimately, it's $9 a meeting. It'll bill you $18. It's through a Stripe link, and you manage it all yourself. I have no control over that. Hey Ruby. And that way you can, if you're not advertising at all, you need to advertise 3 times a week on Facebook. And if you're not familiar with how to work Canva, it's just a really basic Canva template. I give you guys the link so that you can edit it, because you have to have a Canva account, and then you can drop in your company name and your phone number. I come up with the graphics. It's really easy. If you stick with it for a whole year, you'll get 24 PNGs that you can use over and over and over again for your business. Lots of topics that we cover about marketing inside that group. So if that's something you're interested in, go to the events, and there is a Stripe payment link inside of there, so you can just click it. And for those of you who are not signed up for my newsletter that I never send, I only send emails. I know I'm pretty naughty. Sign up. It used to be that Facebook let me harvest your emails when you guys joined, but for some reason it doesn't let me do that anymore. There's weird things that happen with Facebook every time they do an update. It's just a weird, wonky thing. Hey, Brenda, how are you? So if you're interested in receiving emails, upcoming sales, there's going to be a 4th of July sale, those types of things, by all means, sign up for my email. You just have to go right to my website. I believe there is a link clicked on the live, so you just click it. And that takes you right to my website. It gives you all of the courses that I'm offering. I am getting ready to offer some super duper cheap courses, one day easy, 35, 40-minute courses, and I'm thinking about $9. So, and that way it makes it easy, and you guys can learn how to handle these situations when they arrive. Like the number one question is, how do I get payment? Right? How do I get paid? This person stiffed me, and there's a process to it, right? And on top of it, you really don't want to hear me, preaching to the choir, right? You don't want to hear me talk about, how you got yourself in that situation to begin with, but you want to prevent those situations from happening in the future. And every time I've unfortunately had to sue someone, it was because I was teaching them a lesson. And I taught them a lesson not because, it was oodles and oodles of money. It was a lot of work. I had to jump through some hoops. But I can tell you this from experience, there is nothing more satisfying than going to the courthouse and having you have won after they've argued with you, trying to get you to take, 2 pennies, and they're having to cut you a check right in front of you. So, you can't sue for damages or anything like that because of small claims court, but you can recoup your server processing and your paperwork filing and all that other stuff. You don't get paid back for your time, so you have to decide whether that's worth it to you or not. But there's a step-by-step process that I am going to start to teach, and I'm going to start offering little mini courses for that. So sign up for my email, and that way you won't miss one of them. I probably email maybe 2, sometimes 3 times a week if I'm really on top of things, but mostly it's 2, sometimes it's 1. And if you missed it, the Cleaning Business Life just released another episode. I believe we're on episode 11, and it talks about the dirt code. So if you haven't checked that out, I believe Kimberly put the link in the group somewhere. I'll have to check it out. I'm having it loaded onto my website. I'm just waiting for my web guy. So I want to talk about housekeeper rates. So there's a lot of myth. I call it myth because it's based on someone's opinion, right? We all know, well, I hope that we all know, Snopes is Snopes used to be like the hot thing, right? When the internet was brand new and you could go to Snopes and it would tell you the truth or not the truth, right? I think that Snopes is just a dinosaur that should have been retired a long time ago. I don't think there's any relevancy in what they do at all. It's just 2 adults and a cat, and I don't know if their opinion is relevant, right? Just like I don't believe that when you go to Google what, housekeeper rates are supposed to be, and you get a client on the phone with you and they start to argue with you over that price, they only see the singular number of what it is that you are charging for. They don't see the, the insurance. Hey, Dana. They don't see, the time and energy putting into your digital calendar system. They don't see the back end of the paperwork. They don't see all of the money you spent on marketing and how you stayed up till 11 o'clock at night making a new ad campaign. All of those things are time and energy put into building your business. So when you are looking at, Google housekeeping rates and someone says, well, I just Googled this and they take it as gospel. That's not gospel. You guys are constantly listening to me talk about what the national averages are for charging for a professional cleaning service. That doesn't, you could be by yourself, because I prefer solo. That's my favorite business model, and I've run all three. Or you could run teams, which I don't recommend, or triples, and I don't recommend that. But there's a couple of you guys out there, and it works. It's worked for you for a long time. Don't change. If the wheel's not broken, don't fix it, right? But make sure that you're not taking what you see online as gospel. The post was housekeeper rates. I believe it was in Illinois, and it was $15 an hour. Nobody's working for $15 an hour. I think, hey Amy, I think that when it comes to hiring help, you need to pay top dollar. You guys have all heard me preach it. I'm on my soapbox, right? That it's constant. You have to constantly be on top of the market, and how you're constantly on top of the market is giving price increases. You need to make sure that you are charging top dollar. This is a luxury service. My tagline says, "We don't clean for crumbs." That implies everything that I want you to know about my cleaning business. We're not the super cheap cleaners. If you're looking for a super cheap cleaner, by all means, go right on Facebook. We've got 65 of them in our area right now. I'm sure you can find one that'll make you happy. The only problem is when you have an independent cleaner, and I'm not knocking if you are, sometimes they don't know what they're doing, so the next shiny thing comes along and they're like, squirrel, or like Dory, swim, 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 swim. So make sure that you're not taking what you see online as gospel. I pay my guys $30 plus an hour, or a percentage of the job, whatever is greater for them. That way I don't have to deal with the turnover. Sometimes I talk to you guys and you're like, I've just burned through 15 people. I'm like, that just ate away your profit for the quarter, right? That's never fun, right? The whole point of working so hard is to create a legacy that you can either sell or give to your family later. Hey, Lucinda. So make sure that you're making good decisions, because every decision you make is all about price. And if you're not charging enough, you're not going to be able to afford to hire help. I know one of you, who I'm not going to name names, you guys can all figure it out. She works a full-time job during the week and runs her cleaning crews during the week, and she also works on the weekends. This girl is a superstar. And she does, I can bullet point all of the things she does. I see her post all the time, right? So you can do things and make it work. You just have to be organized enough to figure out what to pay and what your company culture is. And you have to make sure that they feel appreciated. And paying someone $15 an hour is not making anyone feel appreciated. And if you tell me, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to afford anything, I can't afford $15 an hour, then you're not charging enough to pay someone more than $15 an hour, right? And we've all seen the post where there was someone earlier this week who was not charging enough for a house, right? Hi, Cece, how are you? And that's always bad. That's bad on one side, because the homeowner is like, hot damn, I'm getting this housekeeping for dirt cheap. And she's bleeding out labor and doesn't even know it, right? That's the mentality of the homeowner. Not all homeowners are that way. I tell you, I have clients who pay top dollar. I have weekly clients that pay me $400 a week. Not to me personally, but to my business, right? Because I don't clean. So there are clients out there. You just have to keep fishing for them. Don't settle for less than market value. If you're in a bind and you have a bill to pay, by all means, take it. But, just know that at some point the relationship's going to be short, right? So you have to be able to figure out where you're going to go and what you're going to do. We're in the month of June, and you should be already re-looking at your budget that you wrote in January, right? For those of you who participated in that with me, whip out your, you should have your P&Ls if you're on top of your books. And if you're not, look at your list that we worked with together to see where you are in your budget and and your milestones, right? By your 6-month mark, you should be doing X amount of dollars, right? So if you're doing a certain amount of volume and you want to hit a certain higher point, then you need to figure out what that is per day, right? I don't have my second phone. I was looking for a calculator, and we all know I cannot add when I'm doing lives, so I'm not going to attempt to do it. So make sure that you understand that what you read online isn't real all the time, And second of all, know what the norms are in our industry. The normal right now is $55 to $65 an hour per person, flat rate. So that means if you have a team of 3, right, and you have $65 an hour, you can do the math on how much that is per hour. That's what you're billing the client for the cleaning. And if it takes your cleaning crew an hour and a half, I mean, I could go down and go backwards. So you're going to pay an hour and a half of labor, and then you have to add in your payroll, your workman's comp, your advertisement costs, any gas costs or vehicle charges that you have. I mean, I could just bullet point all of the items that you need to cover to add into your price. But teams of 3 are going to cover, 8 or 9 houses in a day, or 7 houses in a day, or whatever it is you decide they're going to do, 5 houses in a day. Teams of 1 are only going to do 1, 2, or 3 houses in a day, right? And then teams of 2 are supposed to be able to do 2 to 3 homes a day, but it never works out, right? Because you're wasting labor. They're driving in a car, so one of them gets mileage, right? Then they're chatting, because they drive to the office. That's the traditional business model. You guys have all heard me talk about this in the past. They're driving to the office. They're loading up their kit. That's 15 minutes there. Then they're in the car trying to figure out where they're going. And then, I want to go to McDonald's, and then I want to go over here. And then they finally make it to the client's house. They're loading all of their gear out of the car to the client's house. Another 15 minutes, right? Or 5 minutes there, or 10 minutes there. And then they're loading all the gear back in to go to the second house, right? So then you've wasted, each day you're wasting a half hour to an hour of labor, just loading and unloading, where if you ran singles, it'd be different, right? Teams of 3 get paid a little differently. And I'm not going to break down the math here, but just know that there's different business models for what you're trying to achieve. So housekeeper rates are not true what you read online. Nobody is paying $15 an hour. If you are still paying $15 an hour and don't know how to give a price increase, hit me up. I'm happy to walk you through what that process is. There is a price increase template located in the guides. If you guys have not had a chance to actually check that out, when you hop into the group, it says discussion, and the next one bullet pointed is guides. You click it, and I believe there's like 27 guides. There's literally hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of free information in there. All you have to do is go through it. Click it, and I can see who's gone through it, and I can see who's not, right? So there's free information there. There's free information on my YouTube channel. I do the roundtables quarterly, and I just want to make sure that you guys are on task with hiring for the right amount. So you're looking for people, and you have to decide, right? Are you going to have the 1099 model, or are you going to have the W-2 model? A lot of people right now are doing a hybrid model. Hey, Amber. And that's okay. Just make sure that you are clear about those boundaries, because you're forever audited. It's ugly. Someone asked a question today, and I had someone ask me the question yesterday. She wanted to know, they were talking about vehicles, and then they were talking about extra pay for laundry. And if you have 1099s, they're their own entity. You're not paying them extra for anything. You're basing your pay off a percentage of the job broken down to an hourly wage. And this is all discussed in the Structure, Scale, and Profit Cleaning Business Academy. So make sure that you understand how the math works. It's so important. Every decision you make is all about pricing. If you don't make the right decision, you could bleed out money. Like with the example I gave earlier with the one person who underbid the job. There's no point in sending a team of 3 and having the woman be persnickety on top of it for a large home. I like to have homes that are like 1,500 to 2,200 square feet. I love those homes. Do I have larger homes? Yes. I have a couple 4,700 square feet. I have a couple of 5,000 square feet. I have one 7,500 square foot, and we only do it quarterly, thank God. Because it takes a team of 4 to go through and get all, she has 27 sets of blinds, So, and it's not a cheap cleaning every time. She gladly pays, and she tips $100 to each cleaning tech. So make sure that you are paying attention to what the housekeeper rates are. Don't just go by what everyone else is paying. Be the exception, not the rule, right? Does anyone have any questions for me? I mean, I can go on and on and on, but it never shows me any comments until after the fact, which is really frustrating. Let's see. I'll pop on the computer really fast and see if there's any comments or questions. But it's important that you don't believe what Google says. It's not gospel. And, oops, I guess I typed in. Just waiting for it to load. I just, so it's important. So if you have questions that you want to have them get answered on Saturday, I do a free thing once a quarter. You can ask me any questions you want, just not relationship, diet, or exercise. And, let's see if we can get on here real fast for you guys. Let's get, I'm still waiting for it to load. And, then there's the marketing mastermind. If you have not done that, let's see if we can find my live here. Let's go right in here. And holy cow, I got a whole bunch of messages. All right, here we go. So, so for a 4729 square, this is for Ruby. So 4729 square foot is how often are you cleaning that house, Ruby? Is it once a month, once a week, bi-weekly? What is it? Right, Jordan is right. It says, she says, I want clients to value my service, not my hourly rate. Right, they do value your service. The people who have housekeeping, and we're in interesting times, right? We have the highest form of inflation in over 40 years. Whether they tell you that or not, I can tell you by my grocery bill. My grocery bill used to be $70 we buy the same produce every single week. It's $225. We no longer buy organic. I'm going to hit up the farmer's market this week to see if I can get a little better quality for my buck, but it's crazy. So, make sure that you're, raising your rates accordingly so that you can make money. You're here to make money. It's not a hobby. You're not here to do it for, oh, I'm really sorry. Here, let me feel sorry for you. No, you want to create a legacy that you can sell or give to your family later, right? So yes, not every client is for you, and that is correct. So when you see on the internet it says $15 an hour, just know that that's not true. And don't get yourself all worked up over it. It's just not worth it. Ruby, I don't see anything new from you. So if I will just say if it's a 47.29, if it was monthly, I would charge $525 to probably $575 because it's a lot of house. I have a couple homes that are that size. We have one that's 40. I want to say it's 43. I'm not quite sure. Maybe 44. And we do it once a week, and we charge them $375. I have another one that is 4,700 square feet, and we come bi-weekly, and it is $425. So it just depends on their lifestyle. It's just a lot of hair, right? It's mostly pet hair. What is the Shanti says? What is the profit margin goal for each client? So your margins, and this is really important. When I first got into this industry, I think I still have the book somewhere. We were thumbing through it the other day. There were 2 books on the market. I got one at a bookstore. This is how long ago that was. When Reconnect. And your margin should be 55, 25, and 20, and the 20% should be your profit, right? So that's your goal. So every job that you make, whether you're solo or you have teams or another person working for you, the 20% should be yours, right? That should be your profit. And that's ultimately what you get taxed on at the end of the year. Any other, what books do you recommend? I can actually go through and make up a list for you guys of books that I recommend. Let's see if that'll go down. It's like those magic mouses. They make everything so large, and I'm not sure why it does that. I really hate that. But in any case, if nobody else has any other questions, I shall see you guys all on Saturday. You guys have a great night. Take care.